Zurich is the largest city in Switzerland. If you are planning a trip to Switzerland, there's a good chance your trip will start or end in Zurich at either its large train station or the international airport. I can't wait to share with you all the top things to see and do while you're here in Zurich. Be prepared that Zurich is one of the most expensive cities in the world to live in. Expect higher prices for hotels and food than you would see in most other major European cities. You don't need a car, as the city center of Zurich is small and compact, and this is where you'll spend most of your time. We spent 2 weeks in Switzerland, with only one of the days spent in Zurich. One day was enough to see everything. Before we dive into the top things to do, I'll tell you how to get from the airport to the city center. Before going to Switzerland, download the SBB mobile app, which is very simple to use. It will recognize where you're at, or you can type in your origin, as well as where you want to go. You buy the ticket online, it's that simple. Switzerland trains are on the honor system, but conductors walk through the train and ensure you have a valid ticket. Old Town is near the Hauptbahnhof, which is the main train station. As you see I've done here, purchase your ticket from Zurich Flughafen, which means airport, to the Zurich HB, which is the main train station. Everything you want to do in Zurich is within walking distance of this area.
Your first stop should be Lindenhoff Hill. This hill used to be a former Roman customs station, and it's only 20 minutes from the Zurich airport. 20 minutes after leaving the airport, you can be at this spot.
Lindenhoff is a beautiful square park and is open year-round free of charge. A main reason to visit is it has stunning views of Zurich's Old Town. The church steeples of Fraumunster on the left and Grossmuenster, built between 1100 and 1220, dominate the skyline. The hill's just a short walk up narrow stairs away from the banks of the Lehmann River. Lindenhoff is not too crowded, so this might be a great place to buy your lunch and then bring it up the hill and eat while you enjoy the beautiful views. After leaving Lindenhoff, wander Altstadt, or Old Town in English. You'll find a maze of narrow, cobblestone streets, making this the perfect place for a leisurely stroll. Old Town is the historic center of Zurich. These narrow, pedestrian-only streets are lined with shops, restaurants, hotels, and the residences of locals. It took us several hours to wander through the Old Town at a leisurely pace. We saw several musicians playing in the Old Town. This singer's from Ukraine. Your next stop should be the Fraumunster Church. This church is right across the river from Lindenhoff. The church is only about 100 years old, but is built on the remains of a former abbey founded in 1853. The church has 5 large stained glass windows installed in 1970. Each of the 5 has a dominant color and depicts a biblical story. The 5 works are the prophets, depicting Elijah's ascent to heaven, Jacob and his dream of heaven, Christ, Zion, showing an angel trumpeting the end of the world, and Law, with Moses looking down upon the suffering of his people. You'll also be able to visit Fraumunster's Crypt Museum. The foundations of the crypt date back to the 19th century, when the abbey was originally founded. Entrance to the Fraumunster is 5 Swiss francs. If you're going up to the towers of Grossmuenster, you can purchase a combination ticket for 8 Swiss francs. Fraumunster has a great organ with 5,700 pipes. They have free recitals. I've included a link in the description of the date and times of organ concerts. When you're done at Fraumunster, you can walk along the river for about 5 minutes to the Twin Towers of Grossmuenster. I believe these are perhaps the most recognized landmark in Zurich. You have a beautiful view of the Lehmann River and the city from the steps of the Grossmuenster. Grossmuenster is free to enter, but it costs 5 Swiss francs to go up to the towers, which will enable you to have a bird's eye view of the city. The climb is a bit steep. In my opinion, the free views from the Lindenhoff Hill are more spectacular, so you may want to save the climb and your 5 francs. The church was originally finished 800 years ago, but the stained glass windows are from 1932. Grossmuenster is worth visiting, but if you're short on time and only have time for one church, skip this church and visit the Fraumunster. While you're in Zurich, you may want to try some raclette. This Swiss dish has been around since the 1200s. You select from a list of unique cheeses, including garlic and smoked cheese. Then you select your sides, but the main ingredients are usually boiled potatoes, melted cheese, and onions. Just be prepared for inflated prices for this tasty Swiss dish. We went to the Rachlette Factory, but there are a number of raclette restaurants in Zurich. Next, go to the Kunsthaus, which is the largest art museum in Switzerland. It has a significant art European collection dating back to the 15th century. It's home to some of the most famous works of art by masters like Monet, Picasso, and Van Gogh. A $230 million building extension was opened in 2020. It's normally 24 Swiss francs, but there are discounts available. Most notably, it's free on Wednesday. With any free time you have, wander around the Old Town and see anything you missed early in the day. The Limit River divides the Old Town into 2 sections, but with a series of bridges, it's easy to crisscross back and forth as you explore Zurich. Some buildings have visible construction dates. It's fun to go through and imagine how long ago these buildings were actually made. The central train station, or Hauptbahnhof, is right in the Old Town, so you can easily reach your next destination. If you're flying out the next day, it may be easiest to stay at the Hyatt Regency Zurich Airport. I have a separate video on this hotel, and I'll include the link for it in the summary. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more travel videos.